Still no audio. Okay.
I spent a long time running, I never knew then what I know now. That the fruits, they always come in, but you can't go around just knocking them down. It takes a long time to show in. We plant the seeds then, and we look at them now. But the roots are always growing, no matter if I'm there or never around.
Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail, what's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds, nothing
It's like your whole life, you've been training for this moment, and when the time comes, you just disown it, meaning you just surrender, don't control it, not interested in the clay pots and molding, or sitting next to the path trying to unfold it, or waiting for the fruits to fall down toward you. Let it go and now you're flowing, feeling quite gorgeous, so you take steps away instead of towards it. What a rush, feeling freedom with nothing to hold. We've been taught that what you touch will always turn to gold, and now we're learning when we let it go, it overflows with no credit to take, cause no credit is home. A higher power working deeper where the seeds are sowed, and when the seeds are true, then they're seeds of gold. But the real gold is joy when life starts to flow, and when it does, you just smile cause now you know. I spent a long time running, I never knew then what I know now. Let the fruits, they always come in, but you can't go around just knocking them down. It takes a long time to show in. We plant the seeds then, and we look at them now. But the roots are always growing, no matter if I'm there or never around.
Whatever grows will grow, whatever dies will die, whatever works will work, whatever flies will fly, whatever fails will fail, what's meant to soar will soar. I am planting seeds. Whatever grows will grow.
When it grows, it grows.
Whatever dies will
And when it dies, it dies.
Whatever
Come on.
works will
If it works, it works.
Whatever flies will
Let it fly, let it
whatever
fly.
fails will fail.
When it fails, it
What's meant
fails.
to soar will soar.
And when it soars, it soars.
I am planting seeds. Whatever grows will
Let
grow.
it grow, let it
Whatever
grow.
dies will
When
die.
it dies, it dies.
Whatever works will grow.
When it works, it works.
Whatever flies
Yeah,
will
let it fly, let it
Whatever
fly.
fails will fail.
It fails, it
What's meant
fails.
to soar will soar.
Let it soar.
I am planting seeds
and nothing more.
Whatever grows will
Let it grow, let it
Whatever
grow.
dies will
When it dies, it dies.
works will
When it works, it works.
flies
Yeah, let it fly, let it
Whatever
fly.
fails will
If it
fail.
fails, it fails.
To soar will soar.
Come on, let it soar.
I am planting seeds
and nothing more.
Welcome, everyone. My name's Stephen Martin, and I'm here to welcome you to this World Peace and Justice concert. What we're doing is bringing together leading musicians from different countries to draw attention to the need for peaceful resolution to the many conflicts that are going on across the globe, such as those between Ukraine and Russia, Palestine and Israel, in Africa and Asia, the Middle East, Eastern Europe, Latin America, and of course the Cold War between China and the United States. We are here to benefit the Parliament of the World's Religions, which is the world's largest, most diverse, and inclusive interfaith organization. It convenes people of faith, spirituality, and goodwill including atheists, putting it in a unique position to encourage and enable religious and spiritual communities to speak out on critical issues of justice, peace, and sustainability. A little bit about Musicians for the Greater Good. That's who we are. We're an alliance of singer-songwriters who care about the environment, social justice issues, and other progressive concerns. And at any time, you can contribute to the Parliament of the World's Religions using the Donate button at www.musiciansforthegreatergood.org or www.tinyurl.com/MGG Our first performer is a co-founder of Musicians for the Greater Good, and he's going to do a couple of songs for it. He has been writing songs since he was about 12 about life, love, social justice. His work has been praised by the late John Hammond Sr. of Columbia Records, Richie Havens, Barry McGuire, and NPR's Susan Stamberg. Please give it up for Ron Israel.
Hey, Ron. Thank you, Stephen. Pleased to be here. I hope you enjoyed the short introductory video, Planting Seeds, which I saw live, performed by Nemo Patel from India, Daniel Nahmoud. I saw it at the Parliament of Religions conference in Toronto several years ago, and that experience helped educate me about the valuable work that the Parliament does to bring together people of spiritual beliefs from around the world in support of social justice. So I'm going to do two peace songs for you this evening that I wrote. The first is kind of a sing-along song. It's called All We Need Is Peace. And even though I know that Zoom and YouTube live streaming doesn't permit group experiences, if you're so moved, please feel to join in the chorus wherever you are. We are Americans. We are Americans. We are Americans, and all we want is peace. All we want is peace. All we want is peace. We are Americans, and all we want is peace. We are Iranians. We are Iranians. We are Iranians, and all we want is peace. All we want is peace. All we want is peace. We're Iranians, and all we want is peace. So why can't we be friends? Americans, Iranians, of our countries must pretend that we are enemies. We are Palestinians. We are Palestinians. We are Palestinians, and all we want is peace. All we want is peace. All we want is peace. We are Palestinians, and all we want is peace. We are Israelis. We are Israelis. We are Israelis, and all we want is peace. All we want is peace. All we want is peace. We are Israelis, and all we want is peace. So why can't we be friends? Israelis, Palestinians, how come our countries must pretend we are enemies. We are Ukrainians. We are Ukrainians. We are Ukrainians. And all we want is peace. All we want is peace. All we want is peace. We are Ukrainians. And all we want is peace. We are Russians. We are Russians. We are Russians, and all we want is peace. All we want is peace. All we want is peace. We are Russians, and all we want is peace. So why can't we be friends, Russians and Ukrainians? How come our countries must pretend that we are enemies? We are people everywhere, sick of war and despair. What's going on here? All we want is peace.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is from a CD I recorded a while back. It's a kind of a peace song. It's called Not Around Here. It's about the hope for peace. So I went to Mama and I said, Mama, Mama dear, what about peace in this world? She replied, not around here. Send me off to college, where they speak about big ideas. I spoke about mine. They said, well, that sounds fine, but not around here. No, 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 not around here. Then I wrote the president, made sure my letters were clear. I said, what about peace in this world? He replied, not around here. Not around here. So what am I to do? Nobody believes it's true, except maybe you, except maybe you. Ask the soldier going off to battle. Ask the mother whose son disappeared. Ask the drinker. Ask the thinker. They'll say, not around here. No, not around here. Some say go work on your outlook. Others say conquer your fear. And some preach reconciliation. Not around here. except maybe you. Except maybe you. Thank you.
Ron Israel, ladies and gentlemen. Conciliation. Sunita Staneslow moved from Minnesota to Israel over 20 years ago, from teaching a blind Palestinian near the city of Nablus to working with Israelis of all ages. Sunita has crossed cultural barriers with music. As a musician and therapeutic harpist, she has shared music with people from diverse backgrounds in concert halls and at the bedside in a children's hospital near Tel Aviv. Best known for her arrangements of Jewish and sacred music, Sunita teaches and performs at harp festivals around the world. She and her husband have made Shetland their new home and are restoring an old stone house by the North Sea. It's my pleasure to introduce Sunita Staneslow.
Just first, I want to introduce my harp. It's built by Camac, which is a builder in Brittany, France, and I actually bought it from the harp shop in Israel. I'd like to share with you first a piece that is a classic Israeli song that just, to me, is just really powerful. It's based on Psalm 34. It's written, the melody by Rabbi Haidt, Psalm 34, verses 12 through 14. And I like this translation. Mi ha'ish could be like, who is this man? But I like thinking, whoever of you loves life and desires to see many good days, keep your tongue from evil and your lips from telling lies. Turn from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. And I love it that it's not just, okay, maybe there will be peace, but the action of to pursue it. So here's my interpretation with improvisation on Mi Ha'ish.
Lovely. Thank you.
So, by being a musician, I feel that I have had many opportunities to cross borders and bridges in a way that I wouldn't have been able to as a Jewish Israeli. I taught a blind harp student near Nablus. I drove through Harara checkpoint. All these things seem so needed peace, and these words are all so still so true. Um, I'll play just a short piece for you now of what I would play at the Children's Hospital. I worked at Schneider Children's Hospital in Petah Tikva, and I would walk in a room, and there might be somebody with a family Muslim, then maybe somebody Hasidic, Orthodox Jewish, and then maybe somebody secular or Russian. And I found the music that I could play that felt like it was for everyone would be Irish, because this harp is like an Irish harp, and also fits in with this whole theme of King David. But by playing something, a love song, an Irish one, it was just immediately crossed borders and was good for everyone. Irish music. So this is an air called Bridget Cruz. It's the third air that Turlach O'Carolan, a great Irish harper, wrote, and he loved Bridget Cruz. So you can feel the love in this piece. So I'm changing keys with the levers. It's what's known as a lever or folk harp. Bridget Cruz.
Beautiful.
Oh, love.
Sunita Staneslow. Thank you so much. All right. Let's move on now. Steve Azzaro is the director, arranger, and composer for Anything Goes, which is a trio featuring himself, Maryann Bairstow, and Bob Lee. And I believe that they are here with us this afternoon. Steve was moved to write Slava i Svoboda Ukraina, Glory and Freedom for Ukraine, as a tribute for all those who cherish freedom and have to struggle to maintain that freedom. And it is dedicated to the people of Ukraine. Please put your hands together for Mr. Steve Azzaro.
Thank you very much, Stephen. We're very pleased to be here. Our colleague Maryann has to stay in the other room. She got COVID, but she's going to try to sing loud and get as much through as she can, but we wanted her to be a part of it. So, pardon
socially distant singing.
But yes, I wrote this for all the people of the world who love freedom. And as Stephen said, Slava i Svoboda Ukraine, glory and freedom to Ukraine. Family, I love my fine people, I love my proud country, and I yearn to be free. Yayo blues voyo zimia, Yayo blues voyo zvinero, Yayo blues voyo Ukraino, Yayo blues voyo svobodo. Svobodo. As the Rechka Dnipro rushes to the deep blue sea, our brave frontier people, they fight for liberty. With fierce strength and courage, oh, we will endure, and once again land on freedom's shore. Glory and freedom to Ukraine. Slava i Svoboda Ukraini. Slava i Svoboda Ukraini. I love my dear family. I love my fine people. I love my proud country, and I want to be free. Yayo blues voyo sinia, Yayo blues voyo zvinero, Yayo blues voyo Ukraino, Yayo blues voyo svobodo, svobodo. Mothers and fathers, summon all your strength. Sons and daughters, share spirit and soul. Companions and friends, unite to defeat the foe, so our ancestors will come to know. No road is too long to gain liberty. Slava i Svoboda Ukraini. Slava i Svoboda Ukraini. I love my dear family. I love my fine people. I love my proud country, and I need to be free. Yayo blues voyo simia, Yayo blues voyo zvinero, Yayo blues voyo Ukraino, Yayo blues voyo svobodo, Svobodo. Glory and freedom to Ukraine. Slava и свобода Україні. Slava и свобода Україні.
Anything goes.
Anything goes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, we're going to check in now with Oleksandra Bakun. I think I have that correct, I hope. And Oleksandra is a polyglot poet and non-formal educator who resides in Ukraine. She's been writing since the age of 14 in Ukrainian, Russian, and English. Her poems were published in the local Young Poets anthology. She has the young and adult periods of her writing life, and challenges of each are vividly seen in the words she's sharing, both as texts and in poetry readings. Her poems revolve around complex themes such as trauma, gender, societal issues, relationships, and mental health. Let's hear it, please, for Oleksandra Lesya Bakun.
Thank you. I am now in Norway in a refugee center which hosts 130 Ukrainian refugees which are fleeing from war. We have a lot of people who fled from Kherson, which recently was made free and made Ukrainian again. And we have people fleeing from Kharkiv and even from Crimea. And we also have a person from Donetsk, which ran from being called to war to fight against Ukrainians in a city which was once Ukrainian, not so long ago, just 8 years ago. So I will read a poem which I have written specifically for this event. It's been a year since we have left our homes with a hastily packed bag of things which, it turns out, were not needed. Not sure how long it will take and whether we will have a home to come back to. Every generation of my people has lived through a collective trauma, sometimes several. What makes us think we were special? Our time has come to show what we really are made of, to build up the character, to finally understand our grandparents, to have a tragedy which makes us whole. That doesn't kill you, makes you wonder how much stronger you can become, how much you can take, and where is your limit. It's been a year of reading every day the news of our best people who could make a lasting impact on the development of our society and went willingly to defend their country, being lost forever. A year of the world being surprised of our will to live and our unexpected ability to fight. Months and months of our childhood homes being destroyed and our brothers held captive, possibly tortured, and unsure if alive. And in this context, it's been quite a struggle to keep explaining to the world why there can really be no peace talks or sharing the stage with a nation which wants us to stop existing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Oh my. Thank you, Alexandra.
Do you not have another poem, Alexandra?
Well, I can read a poem which was, well, it is a quite long poem. Would it be okay if I read a long poem?
It's okay with me.
Okay. So I wrote it when I was in a project in Georgia, when Putin has made a massive call to arms, and when I was in Georgia, out of a sudden, hundreds of Russians started flooding Georgia, and the hotel in which we were holding our non-formal education training course was flooded by Russians. When the war first came, I was in Georgia. It was March 2014, and I remember very well how a participant from Moldova approached us and very calmly said, "You have a war." That our Russian polite man entered Crimea and took it in 3 days with no drop of blood. Moldova, of course, was not a stranger to Russian ignited conflicts. What was Transnistria and Gagauzia, the wounds which were inflicted straight after the country has dared to declare an independence from the Russian Empire, disguised as the so-called Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, which among the many Ukrainian intellectuals doomed to die in Gulag was more accurately called the prison of nations. Georgia surely was well acquainted with the situation as well, having lost the most beautiful parts of the already tiny country, Ossetia and Abkhazia, to its extremely nosy and caring neighbor. "You have a war," Adrian said, and for the next 3 days, the whole Ukrainian team, all girls, was glued to the screen of the Georgian TV, where we saw Russian tricolors being put on the buildings that we all knew and loved. We saw our friends, activists of Euromaidan, the youth with bright eyes, hoping for democratic changes in their country, being escorted, bloody, noses broken, out of the building in Kharkiv administration, surrounded by a hostile mob. We came to Georgia for a European training in media literacy, and indeed we got one. For several days, we were sitting there, scared, crying, unsure whether it was safe to come back home, frantically thinking where we can find shelter. I will remember that training for my whole life. The first time I have visited Georgia, I flew with Wizz Air to Kutaisi from the Donetsk airport, modern, state-of-art, newly built and renovated. I have visited the motivated, inquiring, educated young people in the Donetsk cell of my NGO. I have marveled at the city's calmness, open planning, beautiful green parks, the glass dome of the huge sports stadium. Later on, of course, the city would be occupied, and the airport, being defended for 9 months, turned almost to dust, would end up being a symbol of Ukrainian resistance. Same as the Azovstal factory turned fortress 8 years after that. I didn't know about that. How could I? I simply flew bright-eyed, inspired, to a European training course where we would talk about tolerance, inclusion, and European citizenship. 8.5 years later, I came to deliver a training in Georgia. I flew with Wizz Air to Kutaisi from Warsaw because the Donetsk airport has been destroyed by Russian artillery, and Kharkiv airport, same as 6 others around Ukraine, has been shut down on the night before February 24th, 2022. I have arrived in Tbilisi, and the very same day, Putin, being dissatisfied with the result of the special operation, has called for a partial general mobilization in Russia and specifically in Moscow. And out of a sudden, the next day, the tickets to all visa-free countries from Moscow have been wiped out or jumped in price 5 times, among which to Tbilisi, that apparently is now called the capital of the current wave of immigration. And there is a many-hour queue standing on the border between Georgia and Russia. Thousands of people go out on the streets and protest. 450 people have been arrested in Moscow, St. Petersburg, and Ufa. They did not go on protests 8 years ago when Crimea was taken and Donetsk and Luhansk were occupied, efficiently taking hostage most of my family that it so happens live in Crimea and Luhansk region. They did not go out on protests in February when bombs started falling on Kyiv. They were silent in March or April when people of Mariupol were hiding in basements of these destroyed houses for a month with no water, when my grandmother's house was only left with walls, no doors, windows, roof, and my aunt's house and car have burned down. They did not protest a week ago to people dying of hunger in the occupied Kherson region. No, how can we expect that? They are above the politics. Moreover, we should be too. And God forbid if a beloved YouTuber starts making content in Ukrainian after the full-scale invasion of his country. Oh no, they got you too. They have brainstormed you. Mountains should be above the politics. They have been silent for 6 months because, of course, the police are so brutal, or proudly wearing the new Nazi symbol Z, laughing at holes, and they have been for 300 years, simultaneously hating and despising us. Their women called Russian occupiers, saying that when he would rape Ukrainian women, for him not to inform her about it. A silent proxy. If Russian army would take control in Kyiv in 3 days, which, let me inform you, 103 years ago, after the collapse of Russian Empire, when Ukraine claimed its independence, the Russian army could not do for half a year, which is why the first Soviet capital of Ukraine was not in. If Putin's plan would work this time, despite no historical prerequisites, he would have been praised as a hero, just like how the majority of Russians have supported him during the whole war. But now, when Ukrainians, with huge devastating sacrifice, have liberated Kharkiv region, out of a sudden, the talks began in Russian social media that Putin is a war criminal, and some of the city deputies have initiated impeachment discussions. No one judges victors, and the Russian Empire, ingrained in the minds of millions, cannot accept the thought of not being one. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for sharing that one with us.
Thank you, Alexandra.
Yes,
Thank you, Alexandra.
the world needs to know all of this stuff.
Yes, we do.
Thank you so much. And we'll go on with our Ukrainian set here. And we can bring up Larisa Pastuchiv. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, Laura has been playing the Ukrainian Bandura since age 7, in the historic tradition of Bandura playing being passed from generation to generation. She was taught to play by her Bandurist father, who immigrated to the U.S. from Ukraine and established a Bandura school in New York. In college, Larisa wrote compositions for Bandura as part of her studies in music theory and composition. Currently residing in the D.C. area, she plays in venues associated with the Smithsonian Institute, the Library of Congress, the Washington Folklore Society, the Ukrainian Embassy, and Voice of America. Most recently at fundraising events to support Ukraine. The Bandura is Ukraine's national instrument and has tremendous symbolic meaning. Bandurists were Ukraine's musical bards from ancient times and were considered the carriers of Ukraine culture, tradition, and history. Because of their focus on Ukrainian ethnography, they were persecuted in the 1800s by Russian imperial powers. In a horrific event which took place in 1933, 300 Banduras were gathered for a proposed ethnographic conference. All the gathered Bandurists were executed in a Soviet attempt to suppress Ukrainian culture. This instrument has 60 strings, spanning a 5-octave range, and is considered a cross between a lute and a harp. I think that's it. Please welcome Larisa Pastuchiv.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The first piece I'd like to play is a medley of two traditional Ukrainian songs. The first starts out as Dumy Moi, which translates to my thoughts. And then the second one is an evening song. So this is sort of like a thoughtful evening.
Wow.
Amazing. Thank you. I'm always asked to play a piece that that people can relate to more if they don't know a Ukrainian repertoire. And so I've chosen to play an arrangement of a piece that may be more familiar to many of you called Love is Blue. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me try again.
Lovely.
Thank you very much.
Larisa Pevna on her Bandura.
Thank you.
Delightful. All right. Time that we learned a little bit about what we're doing here about the Parliament of the World's Religions. And so we have Dr. Stephen Avino here. He's the Executive Director of the Parliament of the World's Religions. the world's premier interfaith convening non-profit organization. Reverend Avino has remained deeply committed to the success of the global interfaith movement. He was a key organizer for the Parliament convenings in Salt Lake City, Toronto, and in 2021, the virtual Parliament convening. He earned a Master of Arts in Religious Studies at the Chicago Theological Seminary and became ordained through the Independent Catholic Movement in 2019. He lives in Chicago, where he remains deeply committed to advocating for a more inclusive interreligious movement. The Reverend Stephen Avino.
Thank you, everybody. I'm as he said, I'm Stephen Avino. I'm the executive director of Parliament of the World's Religions, and I was asked to speak today about the peace and justice work of the Parliament in particular. Before I say anything about that, I just want to thank the incredible organizers of this event today and the incredible performers. It's truly a blessed event, and I'm really excited to be here today. I want to start by saying that the Parliament of the World's Religions is a global interfaith organization that works to promote peace, justice, and sustainability in the world through education and dialogue. So peace is the heart of our mission. It's why we exist. And in the recent past, we have created a peace and justice task force specifically to create programs in between our global convenings around peacemaking. And they'll be announcing a new program at the next convening in Chicago in August. I'm sure you'll all be excited to learn about that. Now, the Parliament of the World's Religions has a long and storied history. It is a history that is reflective of the best of what humanity can do when we come together for good. In 1893, the first parliament was held in conjunction with the World's Columbian Exposition and is widely recognized as the birthplace of the interfaith movement. 100 years later, the world returned to Chicago in 1993 to celebrate the centenary of that seminal event. Since then, there have been more modern parliaments in Cape Town, South Africa, Barcelona, Spain, Melbourne, Australia, Salt Lake City, and Toronto. And in August, the 2023 Parliament of the World's Religions will be held from August 14th to 18th at the Lakeside Center at McCormick Place in Chicago. And we hope to see all of you there. At that first Parliament in 1893, Swami Vivekananda said during the Parliament that he firmly hoped that the bell that tolled that this morning in honor of this convention may be the death knell of all fanaticism, of all persecutions with the sword or with the pen, and of uncharitable feelings between persons wending their way to the same goal. And I like to say that I think Swami was right about that bell. That bell began a movement, and it's a movement for peace. And it's a movement that will lead to the end of fanaticism and persecution, as he said. A movement that recognizes we're all human beings in all of our diversity and our differences, we are all still humbly human, part of one human family. And that is the Parliament's goal, for everyone to recognize that. But this cannot happen without work, and it is time for people of faith and goodwill to get to work, because freedom, human rights, and democracy are under attack all over the world. Many of the performers and poets spoke about that today, and this is why it's so important that events like today happen. And it's also why this year, the theme of the 2023 Parliament is a call to conscience, defending freedom and human rights. We are all being called to build a better world together, and we can make this world better together. You see, in a moment of great crisis is people of faith and goodwill who must rise together and defend freedom and human rights. This is what we're going to do in Chicago in August, and we're going to show the world that faith does not need to be a source of division or violence. And it's time to take religion from the realm of darkness and bring it into the light, and that's what we're going to do in Chicago in August. Please join us. We hope to see all of you there, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Reverend Avino. I'd like to take just a moment here. We regret that we are unable to bring you songs by Balna Koyate, who is a Mali balafon player, and we hope to get him in on a future concert. But right now, we'll move on to Maryann McAllister. She was singing as soon as she could talk. Her first word was downtown. She started figuring out chord diagrams in grade school and performed through high school and college. Since raising her family of musicians, she's returned to her own music career, first earning a vocal performance music degree and studying classical guitar. She plays from a cabin on a wooded slope north of Baltimore, grateful for the virtual open mics as she happily isolates. And we are grateful to have her with us today. Maryann McAllister.
It's such a privilege to be able to play for this. Thank you so much. I'd like to perform 110 Soldier, a song surely from the youth of several of us out there. So it's my hope. I keep it on gallery, so I'm hoping there'll be some singing along, at least on the chorus, if not the whole song. Listen, children, to a story that was written long ago about a kingdom on a mountain and the valley folk below. On the mountain was a treasure buried deep beneath the stone, and the valley people swore they'd have it for their very own. Go ahead and hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat your friend. Do it in the name of heaven, you'll be justified in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing come the judgment day, 'cause on the bloody morning after, 110 Soldier rides away. So the people of the valley sent a message up the hill, asking for the buried treasure, tons of gold for which they'd kill. Came an answer from the kingdom, with our brothers we will share all the secrets of our mountain, all the riches buried there. Go ahead and hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven, you'll be justified in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing come the judgment day, for the bloody morning after, 110 Soldier rides away. Now the valley cried with anger, mount your horses, draw your swords, and they killed the mountain people, so they won their just reward. Now they stood beside the treasure on the mountain, dark and red, turned it over, looked beneath it. Peace on earth was all it said. Go ahead and hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven, you'll be justified in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing come the judgment day, for the bloody morning after, 110 Soldier rides away.
Maryann McAllister.
She's amazing.
Oh, she really is.
Perfect song for today.
I was in the next room, but I heard every note, and I gotta say, Maryann, I truly hate following you. But I am. I'd like to play a song by Matthew Paul Miller, better known as Matisyahu, and he was formerly a rabbi who decided to become a reggae star, and I love this song. times I lay under the moon, and I thank God I'm breathing, and then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. And when the negativity surrounds, I know one day it'll all turn around, because all of my life I've been praying for, I've been waiting for the people to say now that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. It's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they prey on the souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched drive will keep on moving, though the waters stay raging. And in this maze you may lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it faze you, no way, no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. And when my negativity surrounds me, I know one day it'll all turn around, because all of my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play. Yeah, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. So one day this all will change. Treat people the same. Down with the violence, stop with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like one day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. All of my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say now that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. I can feel it coming in. One day. Thank you so much. Our next performer is a singer-songwriter, a member of Musicians for the Greater Good, and an environmental crusader. And he is a Boston area guy and is part of the music group The Tritones with Karen Sauer and Chris Lee, who just passed and will live on for a long, long time in our hearts. Mike is a founding member of the Rosendale Open Mic and has released 5 CDs, including Boston Harbor, No Longer Dirty Water. It's my privilege to introduce my friend, Mr. Mike Delaney.
Thank you. Thanks, Stephen. And I'm honored to be part of this concert for a worthy cause. I'm going to play a bluegrass song that I wrote, it turns out, 20 years ago. And it's an eco bluegrass song, so I guess that makes it green grass. It's called, and it's still, unfortunately, still relevant. It's called Trash This Planet. Our humble earth has been lush and fertile with anything anyone needs. Food and space and pristine water and time enough to succeed. But that ozone layer has gotten holy and froggy's legs are deformed. And the coral reefs have been bleached and dying, and the atmosphere has been warmed. When we trash this planet, we'll just find another. There's plenty more in the stars. When we trash this planet, we'll exclaim, "Oh, brother," and head into space in our cars. When all the land has become a landfill and the ocean's full of toxic waste, and the sky above is gray and smoggy, it might be time to make haste. When we breathe the final oxygen atom and use the last drop of oil, it's too late to start saving whales or recycling aluminum foil. When we trash this planet, we'll just find another and another and another. There's plenty more in the stars. When we trash this planet, we'll exclaim, "Oh, brother," and head into space in our cars. Stars, we must get good mileage and have a whopping gas tank and seating for about 10 billion. I think that just might break the bank. And everyone won't sit next to a window or have a holder for their cup. And you better have a big steel bladder. It's a million years before we gas up. When we trash this planet, we'll just find another and another and another and another and another. There's plenty more in the stars. When we trash this planet, we'll exclaim, "Oh, brother," and head into space in our cars. When we trash this planet, we'll exclaim, "Oh, brother," and head into space in our cars.
Magnificent. Mike Delaney.
Thank you.
Love it. Our next speaker serves as the Director of Climate Action at the Parliament of the World's Religions, a Florida native and alumna of the University of North Florida. She's currently working toward a master's degree in environmental diplomacy at DePaul University. With a passion for conservation, Emily is dedicated to helping the planet recover from the effects of pollution and global warming. Give it up, please, for Emily Echevarria.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and thank you all for being here and to the organizers for putting together this amazing event. As stated, my name is Emily Echevarria, and I'm the Director of Climate Action at the Parliament of the World's Religions. Our climate action work seeks to encourage and enable collective and individual action to reduce and counter the adverse impacts of human-caused climate change. We aim to have a robust program of climate-related presentations at our convening this August, with over 75 panel discussions, climate-related artwork, organizational booths, and luminary speakers all talking about the climate crisis that we face. We hope to inspire concrete and substantive action towards saving the planet from all of those who attend this year's Parliament. Some of our main calls to action will involve eliminating fossil fuels in partnership with the Fossil Fuels Non-Proliferation Treaty, care for the next generation and global commons through the UN Trusteeship Council, and promoting the human right to a clean, healthy, and sustainable environment. We're here tonight with Musicians for Peace, and you may be wondering how climate change is related to peace. In the last 60 years, more than 40% of the world's civil wars have been linked to control over natural resources such as land, oil, and water. Climate change is on track to make this situation worse, with unprecedented new impacts on the functioning ecosystems we depend upon for survival, as well as on where people can live and grow food, build cities, practice their faith, and raise their children in peace and health. Every religion and spiritual practice has something to say about care for the earth and care for creation, and you can learn more about what different faith traditions are doing to save our planet by reading our book, Faith for Earth, A Call to Action, which we made in partnership with the UN Environment Program. And if you're interested in learning more about the Parliament's climate-related programming and actions, please feel free to check out our website, parliamentofreligions.org, or contact me at the email I'll put in the chat. And we hope to see you all in August, and thank you again for attending tonight.
Thank you so much. Emily Echevarria. Our next performer is going to play a song. He's a songwriter, a singer-songwriter from the greater Boston area. He's been writing and performing around here for 20 years or more. His songs are grounded in his family life, in the natural world, as well as inspired by current or historical events, often addressing social and cultural inequities. He has 2 albums of original music and is most recently found performing at various virtual open mics. And he is also the glue that holds our Zoom concerts together. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Tom Maynard.
Thank you. Thanks, Stephen. And, yes, if there's been any rockiness to tonight's concert, that's my fault. The song I'm going to be doing for you tonight is an original, and it was, I wrote it probably back maybe 20 years ago, during a time when we were experiencing extreme rains around this area in New England, at the same time as the wildfires were raging out in the West. Since then, we've been dealing with a little bit of drought on our side, but the song was written from that perspective. It's called The Balance. Where the hell are we going? Where have we been? Seems we're going in circles. Look, we've come round again. It seems with lessons learned, we'd make a different choice. Instead, it seems we've lost our voice. Collective amnesia and laryngitis too, letting someone else define what's true. Watch the rain come tumbling down to nurture and give birth, but too much rain can flood and drown all the children of the earth. Somewhere there's a wildfire raging for want of all this rain. We have to find a balance once again. Help us find a balance once again. Got us fearing our shadows, that's how they keep in control. vision and tightening their hold. They keep on reminding us of all we have to lose. On every story on the evening news, they shine their blinding light to dazzle in our eyes. Oh, while sleight of hand obscures the lies. Watch the rain come tumbling down to nurture and give birth, but too much rain can flood and drown all the children of the earth. Somewhere there's a wildfire raging for want of all this rain. We have to find a balance once again. Help us find a balance once again. There's a fire raging, it's burning out of control. Injustice is tinder and anger fans the coals. If only a soothing rain could take away the heat. But hatred pounds a violent beat, and vengeance blinds the eye to any other way. Oh, a chance is lost that grief betrays. All chance is fading into gray, and love is lost amidst the fray. Watch the rain come tumbling down to nurture and give birth, but too much rain can flood and drown all the children of the earth. Somewhere there's a wildfire raging for want of all this rain. Oh, we have to find a balance. Help us find a balance. Can we find a balance once again?
Right, Tom.
Looking for a balance. Tom Maynard. Thank you, sir. Tom also designed that graphic that you see behind him there. He's a man of many talents. Our next performer was born and raised in Yokohama, Japan. She is a singer-songwriter who plays the piano and guitar and sings in English and Japanese. Her music is all about communicating emotion with her audience through song. Her music base is classical piano, and her music style is an eclectic mix of folk, rock, blues, jazz, and R&B. She lives in the Boston area and is actively performing around Boston, and she is accompanied today by Mr. Branson Bofat on guitar. Give it up, please, for Junko Ogawa.
This is a song I wrote. It's called Sandbox.公園には砂場、子供たちが遊ぶ、冷たい風でも元気いっぱい遊ぶ、はしゃぐ声は高く大空に届く、目の前の奇跡を心に焼き付ける、普通の午後の普通の 公園で夢に向かって私は叫ぶきっと来るよ君たちに戦争知らぬ日が絶対来るよ君たちに戦争知らぬ世界芝生を囲む子供たちが見える遊び疲れても一緒にいたいんだそして歌う声は平和の音そのもの思わず見つめる足元の地球普通の午後の普通の公園で夢に向かって私は叫ぶきっと来るよ君たちに戦争知らぬ日が絶対来るよ君たちに戦争知らぬ世界Watching the children in the sandbox in the park It's a winter, I'm bitter But they just don't care Singing a song It's the sound of peace I look down on the ground It's the earth we all share In an ordinary park On one ordinary day I made one wish I dare hope it'll come true There will be a day Children will know Nothing about the war There will be a world Children will know Nothing about the war There will be a world Children will know Nothing about the war
Utsukushi.
Oh man.
Branson, Bofat, Junko Ogawa.
Beautiful song.
Incredible. All right, we're moving on. I want to remind folks that we are being live streamed on YouTube, and this concert will be archived on YouTube, and so you can tell your friends they can catch it anytime they want. Our next performer is a soprano vocalist and acoustic guitarist, as well as an instructor of Spanish, French, and English as a second language. Originally from Puerto Rico, she now lives in the Boston area and has degrees in French literature and culture from Boston College and Tufts University, as well as a master's degree in vocal performance from the New England Conservatory of Music. She is a performer of Americana, Spanish language boleros, French chanson, Italian arias, and German lieder, and she has recorded 3 albums, hopes to soon record her 4th one. Let's hear it, please, for the amazing Michelle Abadia.
Hi. Thank you so much. It is an honor and a great privilege to be here with you and to have been asked to participate. The performance level has been exponentially great, so I'm very, very blessed. So I was thinking that I realized that the degree of importance that various countries and cultures give to mental health emotional health, spiritual health, vary to a great degree. The song I'm going to sing is a spiritual. It's called Peace Like a River. And it really deals with inner peace and inner feelings of joy, love, pain. And I wonder if everyone in this world, in their own cultural way of doing things, would be given a chance to rehash those feelings that we all have inside. I wonder if world peace between countries, peace between former foes could be achieved, at least in part. I know that's not all, but inner peace is so vital to feel comfortable with ourselves, to be comfortable with other people, to relate to other people. And I know that to a greater or lesser extent, we've all had issues with, expressing our feelings and knowing what to do with them. And a lot of conflicts, I wonder if they happen because we just don't have the right outlets to relate to other people, to other countries. And I think that if different cultures gave more importance to the spiritual, emotional, mental health of their inhabitants, I wonder if this world could be a better place. So, in keeping with that, here is a spiritual Peace Like a River with some translation into Spanish that yours truly dared to make. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. Tengo paz en el alma, tengo paz como un río, tengo paz como un río en mi ser. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. Tengo amor en mi alma, tengo amor como un mar, tengo amor en mi alma y en mi ser. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. I don't know in mi alma, hay dolor en mi alma, hay dolor en mi alma y en mi ser. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain
in my soul. Alegría en mi alma como fuente en mi alma. Alegría en mi alma. Joy like a fountain, pain like an arrow, dolor en mi alma, amor en mi alma, love like an ocean, paz en mi alma, peace like a river. In my
Oh my.
So the fantabulous Michelle Abadia.
Glorious.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Love you. All right. I would like to remind you at this point to please donate, contribute to the Parliament of the World's Religions using the donate button at www.musiciansforthegreatergood.org or www.tinyurl.com/mgg-donate. We got a couple of more performers to go here. Our next is a playwright who has made his living for the past 30 years or more as a singer-songwriter, is known to hundreds of thousands of people as that guitar man from Central Park. He's also now the host of a twice-weekly internationally attended live online music hang called It's Just Us. You can visit thatguitarman.com. Please welcome David Ippolito.
Hi, thanks all for being here, and I want to thank Neal. I want to thank everybody and the musicians for the greater good for inviting, including a passionate atheist like myself, who curiously also shows up for world peace. I was really happy to hear Maryann do a song from my youth called "One Tin Soldier." I do a concert every year here in New York City at Merkin Concert Hall, and one year it fell on December 8th, which is the day that John Lennon left us. And I knew I didn't want to dwell on the fact, but I had to do something to acknowledge that loss. And so I wrote a song that kind of sprung out of John's song "Imagine." And so I referenced "One Tin Soldier" and several other songs. It might help make sense. It did for me. This song kind of helped make sense of how certainly the United States of America got to where we are right now in this strange time. We'll start with "Imagine" and then go into the song. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Lately, when I sing this song with you, I remember so many years ago, in another troubled time, this song was brand new, and we'd hear it playing on the radio. John, of course, was not alone. In the dream he tried to share, those songs kept coming at us like a rolling stone. The spirits seemed to flow from everywhere. Joni, in her big yellow taxi, was asking us again to love the earth. Neal cried with us all in Ohio. Stephen shouted out to us for what it's worth. We cranked the volume on the sound of revolution, while Cat Stevens gave us a train to ride upon. Another brick in the wall was no solution, and Marvin asked us all to ask what's going on. Some as kids, some of us as teens, some young women, and some of us young men. Perhaps a trick of memory, but all my friends, it seemed, were singing songs of peace and love back then. We'd sing a moral tale of one tin soldier. We'd sing how love could always conquer fear. Those songs helped me believe as I got older that the road ahead for all of us was clear. You know, it felt like everyone's heart was in tune, and that Imagine wasn't just another song. It felt like all of my young friends believed it could be true. It breaks my heart to know that I was wrong. It's just a less than happy thought, but then again, could shed some light on what this country's going through. You see, only some of us meant it when we sang those songs back then, but it warms my heart tonight to see that some of us still do. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday they'll join us, and the world will live as one. Some of us meant it, oh, and some of us still do.
Bravo! David Ippolito, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that grabbed us.
Peace on you. Wow.
Wow.
And what a night. You know, there's so much talent and so much heart and so much depth and meaning. And and we are all together in this fight for peace. I guess our last performer will be our friend Neal Braverman, who is an MGG member and singer-songwriter and a founder of the... hold on a second. A founder of the Open Mic. As Rob. Hello.
Hi, Stephen, and hi, everybody.
Neal retired as an EMT after 30 years of Boston medical services. For 30 years, he performed on guitar and piano for hospitalized children, Boston media outlets, who nicknamed him the Jewish Elf. In 2007, after retiring, he launched the Volunteer Rescue Support Network International. He's always gotten more out of giving to others than anything else, as those of us who know him realize. Put your little hands together, please, for Neal Braverman.
Thank you so much to each and every one of you, and to everybody for that made tonight. And I'm just going to end with a very short piece. It was not written by me. It was written by Woody Guthrie. It was his very final song, and I'm just going to try to get through it without breaking anybody's ears and having people throw tomatoes at me. It's called My Peace. My peace is all I've got that I can give to you. My peace is all I've ever had. It's all I ever knew. I give my peace to green and black, to red, to white and to blue. My peace is all I've got that I can give to you. My peace is all I've got. It's all I've ever known. My peace is worth 1,000 times more than anything I own. I pass my peace around, across hands of every hue. My peace is all I've got that I can give to you. I'd like to move on by saying, after a night like this, it's about our peace is all we need for all around the world. Our peace is all we need, and we are so deserving. Now I think you know the rest of the lyrics. I'll just go it again. My peace is all I've got that I can give to you. My peace is all I've ever had. It's all I ever knew. I give my peace to green and black, to red and to white and to blue. My peace is all I've got that I can give to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Just want to remind one more time, folks, to please donate to the Parliament of the World's Religions. And one more time, we could tell you it's at musiciansforthegreatergood.org or at tinyurl.com/MGG donate. I want to thank all of you incredibly talented and wonderful people for donating your time and yourselves today. It's been an amazing evening, and I can't thank you enough. I want to also thank the musicians on the Greater Good team. Ron Israel, Kathy Donlan, Neal Braverman, Andrea Kulish, Tom Maynard, Mike Delaney, and Sherman Whipple, Emeritus, and my humble self. And after the benediction, I want you to please hang in here because we'll be presenting one final thing. It's a wonderful video by Peter Yarrow. So hold on for that. And in the meantime, as the Lakota say, Mitakuye Oyasi, we are all related, and Wakantan Kanishiyun, may the Great Spirit walk with you. Thank you.
Де всі квіти, розкажи, зникли всі вони давно.
Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago.
Їх дівчата віднесли.
Shall we try that one more time?
Де всі квіти, розкажи, зникли всі вони давно.
Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago.
Їх дівчата віднесли. Їх давно вже нема.
Oh, when will they ever learn? Oh, when will they ever learn?
Їх дівчата віднесли. Їх давно вже нема. Їх дівчата заплели. У вінки давно заплітали у вінки, тільки їх уже нема, і ніхто не знає, де там завжди зима.
Where have all the young men gone? Long time passing. Where have all the young men gone? Long time ago. Where have all the young men gone? Gone for soldiers, everyone. Oh, when will they ever learn? Oh, when will they
відцвіли.
Long time passing,
Де солдати полягли.
long time,
Де земля, в яку вони.
gone for graveyards, everyone. Oh, when
Не знає де, там завжди зима.
ever learn?
Тут або далеко десь, все однакова земля, коли сонце із небес золотить поля. Ми згадаємо про них, вже давно вони не тут, лиш колись серед зими квіти проростуть.
And where have all the graveyards gone? Long time passing. Where have all the graveyards gone? Long time ago. Where have all the graveyards gone? Gone to flowers, everyone. Oh, when will they ever learn? Oh, when will they ever learn?
Де всі квіти, розкажи.
Long time passing,
Де всі квіти, розкажи.
long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls who picked them, everyone.
І ніхто не знає де, там завжди зима.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Many blessings.
Thank you.
Till next time.
Yeah. Tom, thanks for all the efforts on your part.
Tom, you're
David,
amazing.
thank you, everybody. Junko and Branson and Oleksandra and Stephen and Maryann and Ron.
Neal.
Great job.
I love you, Neal.
Neal. Yes.
Recording stopped.
That's good. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you, everybody on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Thank everyone.
I'll stop the recording, everybody. Good night.
Thank
Good
you.
night. See you next time, I hope.